draw against Plymouth at home, and then win away at Middlesbrough, who we hadn't beaten away in the league since 2005. 2 words. Classic Sunderland. The Championship's just utterly mental, isn't it? Do you know what? That was kind of a game where it kind of went through stages of one team having momentum, then another team having momentum. I think the opening 30 minutes, we were awful, quite frankly, and I think Boro absolutely deserved the lead. They were winning, they were getting quicker to every first ball. If not the first ball, they were getting to every second ball. And obviously they probably, in my opinion, because of their early endeavours, deservedly took the lead. Like, we did not switch on whatsoever for it. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Some people have said that they felt that Roberts should have had a free kick in the build-up to the goal. Me personally, I disagree. I think it was just, unless you argue that Hayden Hackney's boot clips Roberts' boot as he's about to go down, unless that's what people are appealing for a foul to be given there. But in my opinion, I think Boro had every right to play on, and I think that the referee had every right to play on, and I think while it's a good finish from the lad who went and scored, and he's obviously got the pace to beat Hume and O'Nien, I wasn't happy at the defending at all, because one split pass, I mean, you could say it's a good pass, but obviously, of course, I'm going to look at the defending, aren't I? It wasn't very good defending. And Sunderland really didn't get a foothold in the game properly until the equaliser, literally, which had a massive stroke of luck about it, don't get me wrong. But as I keep on saying, for me, someone like Sheffield United get luck like that constantly, whereas I don't feel Sunderland do get that. Obviously, the shot takes a wicked deflection and wrong foot Travers, but yeah, I mean, we didn't deserve it at the time, I thought. But then the game totally switched from that moment on until probably Hayden Hackney, I think it was, who got Boro's equaliser. Until that point, Sunderland were not dominant, but we were definitely the one in control of the game. We were starting to get the one-touch passes quicker. We were starting to get to the ball quicker. We unsettled Boro. We were really putting them under pressure and created chances, and particularly start the second half, created chances to, well, extend our lead after we got it. And then obviously our second goal was, to some degree, a carbon copy of Middlesbrough's first goal. Not great defending, allowing Isidore to, from Edmondson, I think it was, to allow Isidore to run through like that. But at the same time, what a pass through from Lefebvre, who by this point has been unlucky not to have had an assist to his name. And Isidore, I love the little shimmy that he did towards Travers, where basically Travers is expecting him to shoot straight away, but then because he delays a split second longer, it makes the difference. And what a way to celebrate him becoming a permanent Sunderland player, by obviously getting us in front at that point. And then the moment where I was literally yelling in the pub, so apologies to anybody who had to listen to me be like an idiot, but what I would say, the thing that really irritated me was the second, at that point, Boro were offering next to nothing. They were offering next to nothing. And I said before, Boro are good going forward, so you don't need to give them any help that you can. But we tried to pass out from the back, and O'Nien tried to pass to Job. Now, you can blame O'Nien for this. Me personally, I think Job should have been quicker to react to it. But it's a mix-up between the two of them, or miscommunication one way or another. And then obviously, Boro do what any team should do in that regard, and they pressed us. I think it was Morris anyway who pressed us, passed it through to Hackney, edge of the box, and it's a good finish, to be fair, and it's 2-2. And I was literally screaming and shouting. Honestly, I was fuming because whether we get on top 2 or not, I don't know. But I've got this deep desire to get top 2 if we can, and we can't have moments, and that should be a lesson for future. We got away with it tonight, but we can't have moments like that. And while I like passing out from the back, still think you need to learn to not do it in certain situations. But nevertheless, doesn't matter. Obviously, after that, 10 minutes after that, Boro were, without creating anything, they were starting to, you could tell the crowd was starting to get on top of things, because for Boro, and I might sound arrogant here, but this is their biggest game of the season probably, or at least joint biggest between us and Leeds. But either way, Boro was starting to get a foothold in it again, and I was getting a bit worried that we were going to lose at that point. But at the end, yeah, I was getting quite concerned that we were going to let this get on top of us, because that was the last thing you needed to give Boro the momentum back. But then we started to settle things, and actually maybe one substitution, to be fair to Le Bris, that I thought probably did make a difference in hindsight, was actually bringing Samed on, Abdul Samed. And I think I think obviously he got it wrong against Plymouth by playing Samed in a game where you don't need to be as defensive, rather. But in this game, there were going to be moments where you had to just control it in the midfield. And once he came on, I think we started to calm things down and we started to push forward again. Now, don't get us wrong. Obviously, look, Samed wasn't... I thought was actually pretty decent against Plymouth, but I actually thought he made a difference when he came on. I was surprised that because of how aging Luke Ayling is at left back for Boro. I was really surprised that we didn't bring Mayenda on to put him out wide. But either way, look, but obviously the winning goal, which is a moment of comedy, I suppose, if you're any fan of anyone but Boro, or, you know, because I can imagine Burnley, Sheffield United and Leeds and all that were hoping for Boro to get something tonight, which is fair enough. I'll be hoping Boro gets something at Sheffield United in a couple of weeks when they go there. But yeah, Le Fay skins Ayling, puts the ball into the box. It's not really going to any near Sunderland player. And then what Ryan Giles is doing there, I have no idea. But no, I'm not complaining. I literally didn't celebrate because I was stunned that had just happened. But no, I would say probably overall over the course of the game, I'd argue you could argue a draw was fair, but for me, I think we just about deserved to win the game. I think while we weren't creating chance after chance after chance, we were controlling more periods of the game than Boro, and I felt Boro were definitely better opening half an hour. But then I think the last hour, barring a 5-minute spell after Boro equalised, I felt Sunderland were on top and relatively in control of things, and we're starting to force the ascendancy. And this is why I've been saying, because our rate, but obviously I know Conway came on, I know Lat might be going, they've signed Iheanacho, which I personally think for Boro is a good signing. But either way, Boro cannot defend. Look at the goals conceded column versus a lot around them. They score goals for fun, and there's a reason they're among the top 3 goal scorers, I think, in the division. I think it's like Leeds, then themselves, then Norwich. But they cannot defend. And I was thinking, Sunderland, and I was shouting at the TV, put them under pressure. It's funny how you shout at the TV and it obviously doesn't make a difference, but you get in heat in the moment, don't you? Either way, yeah, look. Massive win. After drawing against Plymouth, after Sheffield United annoyingly winning a derby at the weekend, that was massive. And at least for now, we're level on points with Burnley. Obviously, they play Oxford this week because they're in the FA Cup at the weekend, but we had to win that to ideally, or I said at least get something. A draw wouldn't have been the end of the world, but I thought a win would be massive. And that's the first time since 2005 that we've won away at Middlesbrough in the league. Right, but we need to back this up against Watford. At home on Saturday, get at Watford. Get at them. Press them. Obviously, do it strategically, but manage the game well as well. And thankfully tonight, we did actually manage the game well. Because one thing that does frustrate me is when Sunderland tried these intricate fancy passes in the 89th minute where you're ahead by a goal. You don't need to do that. So look, end of the day, it's a massive win, and it's a statement probably because Boro are actually pretty good at home. Sheffield United lost there, Burnley didn't win there. So let's keep going. Got 2 big home games coming up. Let's hope we get 6 points. But obviously, it's not as easy as that, but let's hope we do. Anyway, if you're watching the video and you think I've earned and you're not a regular subscriber and you think I've earned it from you, as I keep saying, I don't like asking for subs, but I'm trying to get to 6k, and since I start asking, we actually start getting some more subs. So you can hit the subscribe button, because I think it's 60% of people who watch aren't subscribed. So that'd be much appreciated. And yeah, safe trip back from everybody at Boro. Me mate Pete got the score right. He said 3-2 Sunderland. So yeah. And yeah, see you guys on Saturday. Let's hope we follow that up with a win against Watford. Please, Sunderland. Just please. Come on. Let's stay in the top 2 race and hopefully finish second. Away the lads.